The hydraulic press at Station 7 has been making that grinding noise for 3 days now. Not the normal operational grinding. I know that sound like I know my own breathing after 16 years at Bethel Springs Steel. This is different. Metal on metal where there shouldn't be metal on metal. I'm elbow deep in the maintenance access panel, streamlight headlamp cutting through the machine oil haze when Dominic calls. "Randy, you still at the plant?" My brother sounds off. Tired maybe. He pulled the graveyard shift last night, should be sleeping. "Yeah, Station 7's acting up again." "Why? You feel weird today." "Like? I don't know. Dizzy." I straighten up too fast, crack my head on the panel edge. "Shit. No, I'm fine." "You feeling sick?" "Maybe. I threw up twice this morning. Thought it was Tina's meatloaf from last night, but," he coughs. "Wet sound. There's something in it. The vomit. It looks metallic." The wrench in my hand suddenly feels heavier. "Metallic how?" "Like rust. Dark red-brown, but it's shiny. Reflective. I'm looking at it right now in the toilet, and it's, Randy, I think there's metal flakes in my puke." Dominic lives in the old company housing on Furnace Road, 2 miles from the plant. Same houses our dad lived in when he worked the blast furnace. Same houses half the town lives in, because there's nowhere else to live in Bethel Springs unless you count the trailer park up on Miller Hill, and nobody counts that. "You call the clinic?" "Line's busy. Been trying for 20 minutes. "That's wrong. Dr. Vance runs the clinic with one nurse, Phyllis, who's been there since before I was born. Their line is never busy unless something's happening. Multiple somethings. I'm coming over." I'm already moving, wiping my hands on the shop rag I keep in my back pocket. The rag comes away darker than it should. There's red-brown residue on my palms that wasn't there this morning. I've been handling steel components all day, sure, but this looks like rust condensation. Like the metal is sweating. "Don't. I'm probably contagious with something. Just call me if the clinic line opens up, okay?" He hangs up before I can argue. Dominic's stubborn. Takes after mom that way. I take after dad, which means I worry about the machinery and the people operating it in approximately that order. And right now Station 7's grinding noise and my brother's metallic vomit are connecting in my head in ways I don't like. The press makes that sound again. I turn back to the access panel, shine my light into the hydraulic chamber. The fluid reservoir is cloudier than it should be. Hydraulic fluid is supposed to be clear amber, like weak tea. This looks murky. There are particles suspended in it, catching my headlamp beam. Tiny reflective specks that shouldn't be there. I radio Tommy in the control room. "Station 7 hydraulic fluid's contaminated. I'm shutting her down for a full flush." "Static, then. Negative on the shutdown. Front office says we're running full production today. They specifically said no interruptions." "Tommy, the fluid's got debris in it. Metal particles, looks like. It'll seize the whole system if we keep running." "I'm just telling you what Caldwell said. He came down from corporate this morning, been in the office with Ruskin since 7. They're not taking maintenance calls." Caldwell, regional operations manager from the Pittsburgh office. He only comes to Bethel Springs when there's problems or when there's money involved. Usually problems. Fine. But when this press grenades itself and we're down for a week, make sure Caldwell knows I called it in. I close up the access panel. My hands are shaking slightly. Could be low blood sugar. I skipped breakfast because Tina's meatloaf sat heavy in my gut all night. Could be something else. The red-brown residue on my palms looks darker now. Veta. The plant floor is weirdly quiet for a Tuesday afternoon. Normal shift change happened at 2. It's almost 4 now, but there's gaps in the crew. Station 3's running with just Mickey on the controls instead of the usual 2-man team. Station 5's completely dark, safety lights flashing because nobody's there to acknowledge the shutdown alarm. I walk over to Mickey. He's younger than Dominic, maybe 26, been here 8 months. Good kid. Works hard. Right now he's leaning heavy on the control console, one hand pressed to his stomach. "You all right?" He glances up. His eyes are bloodshot. "Feel like shit, Randy. My whole body aches. Like the flu, but worse." "Stomach problems?" "Yeah." And he holds up his other hand. His palm is stained red-brown, same as mine. I keep bleeding from my nose. Not regular bleeding. This thick stuff that dries almost immediately. Flakes off when I touch it. The grinding noise from Station 7 gets louder. I hear something pop inside the hydraulic system, small detonation like a firecracker. The press lurches, stops mid-cycle. The steel blank it was forming drops onto the conveyor at a wrong angle, scrapes against the housing with a shriek that sets my teeth on edge. "That's gonna cascade," Mickey says. His voice is flat, resigned. "Whole line's gonna jam." He's right. The blank hits the next station's feed mechanism wrong, gets caught. The conveyor keeps pulling. Metal screams against metal. The emergency stop triggers automatically, kills power to the whole eastern production line. Alarm klaxons start up, that distinctive two-tone wail that means we've got a Class B shutdown. Tommy's voice crackles over the radio. "Randy, what the hell just happened?" "Hydraulic failure on Station 7, just like I said. We're shut down until I can strip the whole system and rebuild it. Minimum 4 hours, probably 6. Caldwell's gonna lose his mind. Caldwell can inspect the wreckage himself if he wants. I'm not running unsafe equipment. I switch channels. All maintenance personnel, Station 7 casualty. I need Leo and Patterson to the eastern line for emergency repairs." Acknowledge. Silence. I wait 10 seconds. Try again. Nothing. "Tommy, you got eyes on Leo or Patterson?" "Leo called in sick this morning. Patterson's somewhere in the building. His truck's in the lot, but he's not answering radio." That makes 5 people I know about who are sick or missing. In a plant with 43 employees on day shift. Those are bad percentages. My phone vibrates. Text from Dominic, getting worse. Hands won't stop shaking. Seeing double. I'm moving before I've made a conscious decision. Screw the hydraulic press. Screw Caldwell and Ruskin and corporate production quotas. Dominic needs help and the clinic line is busy and something is wrong in Bethel Springs. Something that's making people sick, making machinery fail, leaving rust-colored residue on everything it touches. The parking lot is half empty. There should be 60 vehicles here, day shift and early arriving second shift combined. I count maybe 35. Where's everyone? My truck is a 2015 F-150, bought used from Fletcher's lot 3 years ago after the transmission gave out on my old Silverado. It's got 140,000 miles and burns oil in cold weather, but the engine's solid. Ford straight 6, simple mechanics, easy to fix. I take care of it. Change the oil every 3,000 miles, rotate the tires, keep the maintenance log in the glove box like Dad taught me. The door handle feels strange under my palm. Gritty, like someone spilled sand on it. I look closer. There's a fine coating of red-brown dust on the chrome. Same color as the residue on my hands. Same color as what's in the hydraulic fluid. I'm 3 miles from the plant, halfway to Furnace Road, when I see the first body. It's on the shoulder of Route 219, just past the turnoff for the abandoned Keystone Mine. A woman, middle-aged, lying on her side. Her car, a green Honda Accord, is pulled over 20 feet ahead, hazards still blinking. She's wearing scrubs. Medical scrubs, light blue with cartoon dogs on them. Probably works at the clinic. Was driving to work or driving home and something went wrong. I slow down, pull over, put on my flashers. This is what you do. This is basic human decency. Someone's hurt on the side of the road, you stop. You help. Even if you're rushing to check on your brother, even if the clinic line's been busy all day, even if there's rust-colored dust coating everything, you stop. I approach carefully. "Ma'am, you okay?" She doesn't respond. I get closer. Her eyes are open, staring at nothing. There's red-brown crust around her nostrils, her mouth, her ears. The same substance coating her hands, her arms, every inch of exposed skin. She's not breathing. I check for a pulse anyway. Have to touch her neck to do it. Her skin is cold, stiff. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is my fingers stick to her. Literally stick, like she's magnetic. I pull back and there's resistance. Physical resistance, like I'm trying to separate 2 magnets. My fingertips come away with threads of the red-brown substance stretching between us. They snap, settle on my skin, merge with the residue already there. I stumble backward, wipe my hands on my jeans. The substance smears but doesn't come off. It's becoming part of my skin. Or my skin is becoming part of it. My phone rings. Dominic. Randy. His voice is slurred. Can't. Hands won't work right. Fingers keep sticking together. The walls. Everything metal. I'm stuck to the refrigerator. Tried to get a drink, and now my hand won't come off and the line cuts out. I try calling back. Goes straight to voicemail. I run for my truck. My boots leave red-brown footprints on the asphalt. Furnace Road is 6 minutes away if I speed. I'm doing 75 in a 45 zone, and I don't care. There are more cars pulled over on the shoulder. 3, 5. A pickup truck in the ditch with its door hanging open. No bodies visible, but I'm not stopping to check. Dominic's house is the fourth one on the left. Company housing, built in 1963, identical to all the other company houses. Beige siding, brown trim, single-car garage that hasn't worked in decades. His truck is in the driveway, an old Dodge Ram with rust eating the wheel wells. I'm out of my F-150 before it's fully stopped, running up the front walk. The screen door is closed, but the inner door is ajar. That's wrong. Dominic's paranoid about heating bills, never leaves doors open. Dom. No answer. I push through into the living room. The TV is on, playing static. There's a smell like copper and rust and something else. Something organic and wrong. The kitchen is to my right. I see his hand first. Extended out from behind the refrigerator, palm flat against the white enamel. His fingers are splayed. There are dark red-brown tracks running up his forearm, under his shirt sleeve, following what I realize are his veins. The pattern of his circulatory system made visible, made external, made into this creeping metallic corruption. Dominic. I round the refrigerator. He's on the floor, body twisted awkward, like he fell and couldn't get up. His other hand is stuck to the dishwasher. Both appliances are rattling, vibrating. The refrigerator's compressor is screaming, working overtime, like it's trying to pull something. Pull him. Pull the metal in him. His eyes find mine. He tries to speak. His mouth opens, and instead of words there's a wet clicking sound. Red-brown fluid runs down his chin. His teeth are coated with it. His tongue is too dark, too rigid. I grab his shoulders, try to pull him away from the refrigerator. He's stuck fast. The magnetic force is incredible. I plant my feet, pull harder. His shirt tears. The skin underneath is mottled red and brown, like rust blooming under the surface. Like his blood is turning to iron and trying to escape. Let go! I'm shouting at the refrigerator, at the universe, at whatever is doing this. Let him go. Dominic's eyes lock on mine. They're still his eyes. Still my brother's eyes, terrified and aware and trapped in a body that's becoming something else. His mouth moves, forms words he can't vocalize. Run. The refrigerator lurches 6 inches across the kitchen floor. Toward us, pulled by the magnetism. Dominic's body jerks with it, dragged like he weighs nothing. The dishwasher shudders. The metal sink groans. Every appliance in the kitchen is straining toward him. Toward the iron in his blood that's responded to some wake-up call I don't understand. My phone vibrates. Emergency alert. Emergency alert. Iron nanoparticles, metal contact deadly. Emergency alert. Abandon all steel structures. Emergency alert. Do not approach affected individuals. The refrigerator lurches again. Dominic screams, a wet, rattling sound. His chest cavity is pulling toward the magnetic field. I can see his sternum distorting, pressing outward. His ribs are becoming visible through his shirt. The iron in his blood is answering to forces that don't care about his body's structural integrity. I should run. The alert says run. But he's my brother. He's Dominic. We grew up in a house 3 blocks from here. We learned to weld in Dad's garage. We've worked at the same steel plant for combined 30 years. You don't run from that. You don't leave that stuck to a refrigerator dying alone. I grab his arm again. Pull harder. The skin tears. Underneath there's red-brown crust. And metal. Actual metal, dark and corroded and growing. His body convulses. The refrigerator tips. Starts to fall toward us. 200 pounds of steel and coolant and magnetic force. I let go. Throw myself backward. Hit the kitchen floor hard as the refrigerator comes down. It lands on Dominic with a sound like a car crash. The impact should kill him. Maybe it does. Maybe he's already dead, has been dead since I found him, and this is just biology playing out its final magnetic notes. The refrigerator settles. Stops moving. Dominic doesn't make any sound. I'm on my hands and knees, staring. My palms are sticky. When I lift them, the linoleum comes up with them. Just slightly. Just enough to notice. The red-brown residue on my hands is magnetized. It wants to stick to things. It wants to pull metal toward itself. It's in me. Whatever killed Dominic, whatever killed the woman on Route 219, whatever is making the hydraulic fluid cloudy and the machinery fail, it's already inside me. In my blood. In every breath I took at the plant, every surface I touched, every minute I spent in Bethel Springs after the geothermal activity woke something up in the old hematite mines. I look at my hands. Really look. The red-brown staining is following my veins now. Dark tracks running up my wrists, branching under my skin. It's beautiful in a terrible way, like rust painting a map of my circulatory system. From outside, I hear metal scraping. Car alarms. Something crashes. The sound of steel impacting steel. I need to move. Need to get somewhere without metal. But where? The plant is steel. My truck is steel. Dominic's house has metal appliances, metal framing, metal everything. Bethel Springs was built on iron mining, built on steel production, built on the industry that's now killing everyone who breathes its air. My phone vibrates again. Same alert, repeating. Then a new one. Emergency alert. Bethel Springs under quarantine. Emergency alert. Stay in your homes. Emergency alert. Help is coming. Help. They're sending help. Which means they know what's happening. Which means this isn't just Bethel Springs. This is regional. Maybe statewide. Maybe worse. I stand up. My legs work. For now. I avoid looking at the refrigerator, at what's underneath it. That's not Dominic anymore. Dominic is gone. Dominic told me to run. I'm going to run. I make it to my truck. Don't remember crossing the yard. Don't remember opening the door. Survival autopilot. The kind Dad used to talk about from his blast furnace days. Body moving while brain catches up. The steering wheel feels wrong under my hands. Sticky. The whole cab smells like rust and copper. I start the engine. It turns over rough, misfires twice before catching. The oil pressure gauge climbs slower than normal. Something's wrong with the engine internals already. Metal parts grinding against metal parts, wearing down faster than they should because the lubricant's contaminated with the same nanoparticles that killed Dominic. Route 219 northbound is chaos. Cars everywhere, some moving, most stopped. A gray Taurus is wrapped around the guardrail near the Quick Mart. The driver's side door is open but nobody's inside. There's a body in the road 50 yards past it. Another one on the sidewalk in front of the Dollar General. Both have that red-brown crust covering them. Both are positioned near metal, a mailbox, a street sign. Like they died trying to get away from something magnetic, and the metal came to them instead. My radio's picking up CB chatter. Truckers mostly, shouting about roadblocks and National Guard and towns going dark. One voice, sounds like Bobby Trenton, drives for Keystone Freight, is describing something I don't want to believe. They're clumping together. The bodies. Saw it on Route 22 near Blairsville. 5, 6 people all stuck to the side of a tanker truck. Just standing there, or what used to be standing. All fused together now. Metal's pulling them in, and they're pulling the metal. Whole thing's rolling. Picked up a guardrail. Picked up an ATV. It's getting bigger. I switch off the radio. Don't need that in my head right now. The turn for Oak Ridge Road is coming up. That's where Helen Brennan, she's the county emergency coordinator, ran the tornado drill last spring, the chemical spill response when the tanker flipped on I-82 years back. If anyone has information, has a plan, it's Helen. Her house is a double wide on 2 acres. She's got a ham radio set up in her spare room. Saw it once when I came by to fix her well pump. If she's broadcasting, if she's coordinating, I need to know what's happening. Need to know if there's anywhere safe. I pull into her driveway. Her Jeep Cherokee is there. Front door is wide open. Helen. No response. I approach the door, staying to the grass, avoiding the metal porch railing. Through the doorway I can see her living room. It's wrecked. Furniture overturned. The metal TV stand is bent, twisted like something pulled it. The television itself is shattered on the floor. Inside, the smell is worse. Copper and rust, and that organic wrong smell from Dominic's kitchen. I follow it to the spare room. Helen's at her desk. Or what's left of Helen. She's slumped in her chair, facing the ham radio equipment. Her hands are fused to the metal microphone, the steel desk edge, the aluminum frame of her chair. The red-brown crust covers everything. Her face is locked in position, mouth open midward, eyes staring at the radio display. The radio is still on. Static hissing. I reach for the controls, then stop. Metal. Can't touch metal. Not directly. Not anymore. I use my shirt tail, fabric between my skin and the dial. Tune through frequencies. Nothing but static and dead air until I hit 146.520, the national calling frequency. A voice crackles through. Quarantine zone extends to all of Westmoreland and Cambria counties. FEMA establishing containment perimeter at static. Iron particulate concentration highest within 5 miles of geothermal sites. Avoid all ferromagnetic materials. Repeat, avoid all. The transmission cuts out. I keep turning the dial. Find another voice, weaker signal. This is Dr. Richard Vance, Bethel Springs Medical Clinic. If anyone's receiving this, the infection vector is airborne iron nanoparticles released from hematite deposits. Inhalation leads to rapid blood contamination. The iron bonds with hemoglobin, converts blood to ferromagnetic slurry. Time from exposure to symptomatic presentation is approximately 6 to 8 hours. Time from symptoms to, his voice breaks, to terminal magnetic accretion is 2 to 4 hours. There is no treatment. I repeat, there is no treatment. Avoid metal contact. Get to non-ferrous structures. Wood, plastic, concrete. Get away from. The signal dies. 6 to 8 hours from exposure to symptoms. I was at the plant all day. Been breathing that air since 7 this morning. It's almost 5 now. 10 hours. I should already be symptomatic. Should already be like Dominic, like Helen, like the woman on Route 219. I look at my hands. The red-brown tracks are darker, more defined, but I'm still mobile, still thinking, still in control. Maybe it's different for everyone. Body chemistry, blood type. Dad died from a heart attack at 53. High iron content in his blood, doctor said. Too much red meat, not enough vegetables. Maybe I inherited his iron-rich blood. Maybe that's saving me, or maybe it's killing me slower. My phone buzzes. Text from a number I don't recognize. Randy Holt? This is Jason Ruskin. If you're alive, respond. Emergency personnel at plant. Need maintenance expertise. Ruskin, my supervisor. The plant manager who told Tommy no shutdowns today. Who was in a meeting with Caldwell when Station 7 failed. He's asking for help now. Asking for my expertise after ignoring my warning about contaminated hydraulic fluid. I should ignore him. Should drive in any direction that's away from Bethel Springs, away from the steel plant, away from the geothermal activity that released this nightmare. But where? The radio said Westmoreland and Cambria counties. That's 2,600 square miles. Every town in that radius is dealing with the same thing. Every person who breathed the air today is infected. My fingers text back before my brain approves. Alive. What's the situation? Response comes fast. National Guard establishing command center at plant. Concrete admin building only non-metal structure for 10 miles. Need someone who knows the facility systems. They're talking about containment measures. Need your input. Containment measures. That's military speak. That means they're not evacuating. They're walling us in. Another text. Your brother Dominic was on the personnel roster. He make it? I stare at that message. Ruskin doesn't know. Doesn't know I just watched my brother die stuck to a refrigerator. Doesn't know I saw Dominic's blood turn to rust inside his body. I could tell him. Could type out exactly what happens when the iron in your blood responds to magnetic fields stronger than your body can resist. Instead I write, no, he didn't. Then, I'll come to the plant. 20 minutes. I'm making a mistake. Know it in my gut. Same way I knew Station 7's hydraulics were failing before the pressure gauge showed it. But what else is there? Run to empty countryside and wait for the iron in my blood to reach critical mass. Die alone in a field somewhere, body stuck to a fence post or a tractor or whatever metal happens to be nearby. At least at the plant there might be answers. Might be someone who knows how to stop this. And if I'm going to die, when I'm going to die, I'd rather die doing something. Maintaining something. That's what Holts do. We fix things. The drive back to the plant takes 30 minutes because Route 219 is blocked. A propane truck jackknifed it across both lanes. The driver's dead in the cab, body pressed against the metal door frame like he was trying to push through it. Stuck there. The truck itself is surrounded by debris, shopping carts, bicycles, a motorcycle, all clustered around it like iron filings around a magnet. I take the Dieter through town. Main Street is deserted except for the bodies. I count 11. 3 are clustered around a park bench, wrought iron ornamental. Their bodies are intertwined, fused together at contact points. It looks like a sculpture, like some twisted art installation. Fletcher's auto dealership is burning. Black smoke pouring out of the showroom. No fire trucks responding. The volunteer fire department station is 2 blocks away, but the bay doors are closed. Either everyone's dead or everyone's run. I pass the elementary school. The playground is full of metal equipment, slides, jungle gyms, swing sets. There are small bodies on it. Too small. I don't slow down. Can't look at that. Can't process that right now. The plant comes into view around the bend. The main production building is dark. The parking lot has maybe 15 vehicles now, clustered near the administration building like Ruskin said. There are military vehicles too, olive drab Humvees, a couple of cargo trucks. Men in fatigues moving around with purpose. Setting up barriers, portable lights, communication equipment. I park at the far edge of the lot, away from the cluster. Kill the engine. My truck shudders, knocks twice, then goes silent. Won't start again. I know this. The engine's seized or seizing. Metal parts fusing together as the contaminated oil breaks down. This vehicle is done. A soldier approaches as I get out. He's young, maybe 22. M4 rifle across his chest. He stops 10 feet away, doesn't come closer. Civilian personnel needs to stay in the admin building. You hold? Yeah. Ruskin called me. He's inside. Second floor conference room. The soldier's eyes track to my hands, to the red-brown staining visible even in the fading daylight. How long you been exposed? Since this morning. 7 a.m. He nods slowly. Doesn't look surprised. You're past the safe window. Symptomatic presentation should have happened by now. It has. Just slower. I hold up my hands, show him the tracks. It's progressing. Just not as fast as others. You have family? Anyone we should notify? Had a brother. He's dead. No one else. That's true and it hurts. Mom died 6 years ago, breast cancer. Dad's been gone since I was 19. Dominic was the last person who shared my history, my blood, my understanding of what it means to be a Holt in Bethel Springs. And now he's gone, and I'm going to follow him. The soldier steps aside. Admin building's clear of ferrous metals. We stripped everything. Wooden furniture, plastic chairs, no nails or screws. You should be safe there for now. For now? Yeah. He won't meet my eyes. For now. The administration building is 2 stories, poured concrete construction from the 1970s. Ugly building. Brutalist architecture, before that was a trendy term. But solid. Non-magnetic. Right now it's the safest place in a 10-mile radius. Inside, the lobby has been converted to a command center. Maps on the walls. Laptop computers on folding tables. People in military uniforms and CDC logos moving around with clipboards and tablets. Everyone's wearing gloves. Latex gloves. Like that'll help. Ruskin's coming down the stairs. He looks rough. His hair's disheveled, shirt untucked. There's sweat staining through at his armpits. He sees me, and something like relief crosses his face. Randy. Thank God. We need your knowledge of the facility systems. What kind of containment are we talking about? He glances around. Lowers his voice. Let's go upstairs. The colonel wants to brief you personally. The second floor conference room has windows overlooking the production floor. The entire plant is visible from here, all the stations, all the equipment I've maintained for 16 years. It looks dead. Lights off, machines silent. There's movement though. Bodies, or what used to be bodies. They're clustered around the largest metal structures. The blast furnace, the rolling mill, the steel storage racks. Some of them are still alive. I can see them moving. Slow, jerky movements. Like they're trying to walk, but the magnetic attraction is pulling them back. Pulling them into the growing masses of flesh and metal. Jesus Christ, I breathe. That started about 2 hours ago. Ruskin's beside me. The ones who died earlier, their bodies are attracting the ones who are dying now. Creating these clusters. The more mass they accumulate, the stronger the magnetic field gets. It's exponential. A man in an army colonel's uniform enters the room. He's older, 50-something, with gray hair and the kind of bearing that says he's been in charge of bad situations before. He doesn't waste time. Mr. Holt, Colonel James Pritchard, I understand you're the senior maintenance supervisor for this facility. Yeah, I need to know if there's any way to demagnetize the plant, remove or neutralize the ferrous material, stop these clusters from growing. I look back at the production floor, at the bodies stuck to 10-ton steel mills and hydraulic presses and conveyor systems. You want to demagnetize a steel plant? Yes. Colonel, do you know how much ferrous metal is in this building? The structural supports alone are steel I-beams. The floor is steel-reinforced concrete. Every machine, every tool, every piece of equipment, it's all steel or iron alloy. You're talking about millions of pounds of material. I understand the scope. Do you? Because I don't think you do. I point at the blast furnace. That's 1,200 tons of steel. The rolling mill is another 800. And that's not counting the raw material, the finished product, the vehicles, the infrastructure. This isn't a contamination you can wash away. This is fundamental. This is what Bethel Springs is built on. Iron. Pritchard's jaw tightens. What's your recommendation? I look at Ruskin. He won't meet my eyes. Looks guilty. Like he already knows what I'm going to say. Recommendation? Evacuate everyone who can still move. Get them as far from ferrous metal as possible. Then seal this whole place off. Quarantine it. Because those clusters are going to keep growing. And when they get big enough, when they accumulate enough mass, they're going to start moving. Rolling. Picking up everything metal in their path. We can't evacuate, Pritchard says. The infection radius extends across 2 counties. There's nowhere to evacuate to that isn't already contaminated. Then we're all dead. I say it flat, matter of fact, because it's true. Everyone who breathed the air today, everyone within 5 miles of a geothermal site, we're all carrying iron nanoparticles in our blood. It's just a matter of time before we end up like them. I gesture to the production floor, to the clusters, to what used to be people I worked with. Mickey from Station 3, Leo from Maintenance, Patterson, who I couldn't raise on the radio. They're all down there, all stuck to the machinery they spent their lives operating. Ruskin finally speaks up. The CDC thinks there might be a way to filter the particles out. Dialysis, maybe. Chelation therapy. They're working on it. They're working on it. I laugh. It sounds wrong. Bitter. How long? How many hours do we have before our blood turns to rust? They don't know. They don't know. I look at my hands again. The tracks are spreading up my forearms now. Dark veins of iron corruption. I give myself 12 hours. Maybe less. Some people had 6. My brother had 8. It's different for everyone, but it's not if. It's when. Pritchard moves to the window. Stares down at the production floor. We have orders to contain the threat. Prevent spread. That means keeping the infected populations centralized until we have a medical solution. You're not containing us. You're locking us in. Yes. At least he's honest. I'll give him that. He's not pretending this is a rescue operation. Not promising help that isn't coming. What do you need from me, Colonel? Systems knowledge. I need to know if there's any way to disable the plant. Cut power, vent gases, prevent any kind of chain reaction if those masses continue to grow. You're worried about the blast furnace. About what happens if 1,200 tons of magnetized steel and flesh decides to tear loose from its foundation. Yes. I'm already moving to the door. Then we need to shut down the gas feeds. Kill the residual heat in the furnace chamber. It's been offline for 3 hours, but the core temperature's still over 1,000 degrees. If that thing fails structurally, if the clusters pull it apart, you'll have molten iron spilling across the production floor. Ruskin follows me out. Randy, you don't have to. Yeah, I do. This is my plant. My responsibility. I'm not dying in a conference room while everything I've maintained for 16 years tears itself apart. We're halfway down the stairs when something crashes on the production floor. Loud. The whole building shakes. The crash comes from the production floor. Not an explosion, wrong sound for that. This is structural failure. Metal tearing. The sound of bolts shearing under stress they were never designed to handle. We stop on the stairs. Pritchard's already running back up. I follow him. Back to the conference room. Back to the windows overlooking the production floor. The rolling mill has collapsed. The entire eastern support structure gave way. 800 tons of steel framework and machinery, all of it pulled sideways by the magnetic mass that's been accumulating around it. The cluster of bodies, I count maybe 15 people fused to the equipment, is now buried under twisted metal. But it's still moving. The mass is still growing, pulling in debris. A forklift 20 feet away is sliding across the floor, dragging toward the pile. We need to move now, I tell Pritchard. The gas feeds to the blast furnace are on the west side. We can access them from the ground floor maintenance corridor. How long to shut them down? 5 minutes if the valves are accessible. Longer if the clusters have spread to that section. Ruskin grabs my arm. His palm is sticky. I look down and see the red-brown staining on his hand. He's infected too. Of course he is. Everyone here is. Randy, those valves require a manual shutoff. You'd have to get within 10 feet of the furnace. The magnetic field there. I know what the field strength is. I helped install those lines. You'll be pulled in. The iron in your blood, you're already symptomatic. You get that close to that much mass, and you won't be able to walk away. He's right. No, he's right. The blast furnace cluster is the biggest concentration on the floor. Maybe 40 people stuck to it now. 40 bodies worth of iron-saturated blood, all magnetized, all pulling. I've got maybe 10, 12 pounds of blood in my body. 6 to 8 hours ago it was normal. Now it's compromised, contaminated. Getting closer to that cluster would be like swimming toward a whirlpool. You got a better option? Ruskin doesn't answer. Neither does Pritchard. Because there isn't one. I'm moving before I change my mind. Down the stairs, through the lobby, past the soldiers who don't try to stop me. They know what I'm doing. Probably know I'm not coming back. One of them, the young one from the parking lot, gives me a nod. Respect, maybe. Or pity. The maintenance corridor runs along the west wall. It's concrete and steel. Everything's steel in a steel plant, but the walls are solid. The clusters haven't reached here yet. Emergency lighting throws yellow-orange shadows. My boots echo on the floor. Each step feels heavier, like my body's gaining mass. Probably am. The iron in my blood accumulating, concentrating, preparing for the magnetic attraction that's going to kill me. The valve controls are behind a wire mesh gate. I use my shirt to touch the latch. It swings open. Inside, the gas feed manifold is a maze of pipes and gauges and shut-off wheels. All steel, all magnetic, all wrong. I can feel it before I see it. The pull, like gravity but sideways. My hands want to move toward the pipes. My fingers twitch. The iron in my blood recognizing its kin, wanting to join the larger mass. The main shut-off wheel is painted red. Safety regulation. Make it obvious which valve controls primary feed. I wrap my hand in my shirt, grab the wheel pull. It doesn't budge. 30 years of rust and thermal stress have frozen the threads. I pull harder. The fabric tears. My palm touches bare metal. The sensation is immediate. Sticky. Wrong. Like my skin is trying to merge with the steel. I yank my hand back, leave a red-brown smear on the wheel. Part of me, literally part of me, transferred to the metal surface. Can't do this barehanded. Need leverage. Need something non-ferrous to give me mechanical advantage. I look around the corridor, find a length of PVC pipe stored on a rack. Plastic, non-magnetic. I jam it through the wheel spokes, use it as a lever. Put my full weight on it. The wheel groans, moves half an inch, quarter inch more, then breaks free. Starts turning. Gas pressure drops on the gauge. The feed line to the blast furnace is closing. Something crashes in the main production area. Close. I can hear metal scraping across concrete. The clusters are mobile now. Moving. Exactly what Bobby Trenton described on the CB. Masses of flesh and steel rolling toward each other, combining, getting bigger. I finish closing the valve. The gauge hits 0. Gas feed shut down. The blast furnace will cool now. No more thermal energy feeding the system. In 12 hours it'll be safe. Cold enough that structural failure won't mean molten iron spilling everywhere. In 12 hours I'll be dead. Stuck to something metal. Maybe to this valve wheel. Maybe to the PVC pipe I'm holding. Is PVC magnetic? No. But I won't be holding PVC. I'll be stuck to whatever steel surface my blood pulls me toward. Footsteps behind me. I turn. Ruskin's there, breathing hard. He's got that guilty look again. The look that says he knows something I don't and wishes he didn't have to tell me. Randy, you need to hear this. Before things get worse. What? Caldwell, the regional manager who was here this morning. He didn't come for a production meeting. I wait. My hands are shaking now. Visible tremors. The iron accumulation is accelerating. He came because corporate knew. They knew about the geothermal activity. Knew it was going to disturb the hematite deposits. There was a geological survey 3 weeks ago. Private consultant. He warned them about dormant iron nanoparticle concentrations. Said the deposits were magnetically charged. Said drilling could release them. The corridor tilts. Or maybe I'm tilting. Hard to tell. They knew. They knew. And they kept operating. Kept the plant running. Corporate decided the risk was acceptable compared to the cost of shutting down for an environmental assessment. Acceptable risk. My voice sounds distant. They did a cost-benefit analysis on whether we'd all die. The consultant said the particles would disperse, blow away on the wind. Corporate thought it was safe enough. How'd that work out? I'm laughing. Shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. Dominic stuck to a refrigerator isn't funny. Helen Brennan dead at her radio isn't funny. 40 people fused to a blast furnace isn't funny. But I'm laughing anyway because what else is there? Ruskin puts his hand on my shoulder. The contact feels wrong. Sticky. We're both magnetized. Both dying. Both victims of acceptable risk. I'm sorry, Randy. I'm sorry I didn't shut down when you called it in. You were right about the hydraulic fluid. You were right about everything. Yeah, I was. I pushed past him, back toward the main floor. Doesn't matter now. The production area is worse than before. The rolling mill collapse triggered a cascade. Station 5 has fallen. Station 3 is tilting, support columns bending. The bodies clustered around each station are growing. 15 people becomes 20. 20 becomes 30. They're not individuals anymore. Just mass. Flesh and bone and blood all fused together with steel plating and conveyor belts and hydraulic components. And they're moving. Not walking. Rolling. The entire mass at the blast furnace, maybe 50 people now, maybe more, is rotating slowly. Like a wheel. Picking up debris as it turns. A toolbox. A ladder. A lunch pail. All of it sticks to the surface. Becomes part of the thing. Pritchard's on the radio. Military codes I don't understand. He sees me, waves me over. The valve. Shut down. Gas is off. Furnace will cool. Good. We need you to. Another crash. Station 7. My station. The hydraulic press I was working on this morning. It tears loose from its foundation. The whole thing, 30 tons of steel and machinery, slides across the floor. Pulled toward the blast furnace cluster. Slams into it. Becomes part of it. The mass is growing exponentially now. Every piece of equipment it absorbs adds to its magnetic field, which pulls in more equipment, more bodies. The soldiers near the windows are backing away. They can feel it. The pull. Even people without iron-saturated blood can feel the magnetic attraction from something that big. Colonel, we need to evacuate this building. I'm watching the mass. Calculating. 16 years of maintaining industrial equipment means I know exactly how much force it takes to move things. That cluster is exerting forces that shouldn't be possible. It's going to reach critical mass. When it does, it'll take the whole building. This is the command center. We can't abandon. Colonel, that thing is accumulating metal faster than it can be measured. Right now it's maybe 60 tons. In an hour it'll be 100. By morning it'll have absorbed the entire production floor. And then it's going to start pulling on the structural supports of this building. These concrete walls are reinforced with steel rebar. You understand? This building is full of metal. We're sitting inside a target. Pritchard stares at the growing mass. His radio crackles. A voice I don't recognize. Command, this is Perimeter 1. We've got multiple large-scale clusters moving through the town. Request permission to engage. Negative, Perimeter 1. Maintain position. Do not engage. Sir, they're heading toward civilian structures. Residential areas. Maintain position. That's an order. Pritchard lowers the radio. Looks at me. How do we stop them? You don't. You can't fight magnetism, Colonel. It's physics. Those clusters are going to keep growing until they've collected every piece of ferrous metal in range. Then they'll attract each other, combine into bigger masses. Eventually, I stop. Because the end point is too big to process. Eventually what? Eventually you'll have a single mass. Everything metal in Bethel Springs. Every car, every appliance, every building support, every body. All of it in one place. Rolling. Moving toward the next concentration of iron. Ruskin's by the window. His hand is pressed against the glass. Or trying to press. His palm is stuck. The red-brown staining has spread up his arms, visible through his shirt sleeves. His veins are dark, prominent, like cables under his skin. How long, he asks. How long do I have? I check my own hands. The tracks are up to my elbows now. My fingers stick together when I try to separate them. My joints ache. Deep bone ache. Like the marrow itself is changing. Hour. Maybe 2. It's accelerating. My wife's at home. Naomi. She was feeling sick this morning. I told her to stay in bed. He's crying now. Tears running down his face. She's there alone. In our house. Surrounded by metal appliances and furniture, and there's nothing you can do. I say it gentle as I can. You can't get to her. Even if you could, you couldn't help. I should have stayed. Should have been with her. You'd both be dead. We're both dead anyway. He's right. We are. Everyone in this building. Everyone in Bethel Springs. Everyone who breathed the air this morning when the geothermal drill hit that hematite deposit. We're all dying. The only variable is how long it takes. A soldier runs into the room. Young woman, Sergeant Stripes. Colonel, we need to evacuate. The western perimeter reports structural failures in multiple buildings. The clusters are destabilizing the town infrastructure. Pritchard looks at me. Your recommendation? I almost laugh again. He's still asking for my expertise. Still treating this like a problem that can be solved with the right technical knowledge. But some problems can't be solved. Some problems just have to be survived. And we're not going to survive this. Move everyone to the parking lot. Away from buildings. Away from vehicles. Find open ground with minimal metal. That's your best option. That's not containment. Containment's over, Colonel. You can't contain something that's everywhere. You can only try not to get pulled in. The administration building shudders. I feel it through the floor. The rebar in the walls is responding to the magnetic pull from the production floor cluster. The whole structure is under stress. Pritchard keys his radio. All personnel, evacuate to the parking lot perimeter. Move away from vehicles and structures. Repeat, evacuate now. People start moving. Soldiers, CDC personnel, anyone who can still walk. Some of them are limping, dragging legs that don't want to work. The iron in their blood making them heavier, making every step an effort against magnetic attraction. Ruskin hasn't moved from the window. His hand is fully stuck now, palm flat against the glass. The rebar in the concrete window frame is pulling him. He's straining, trying to pull away. Can't. Randy. His voice is tight, panicked. I can't get loose. I grab his arm. Pull. He doesn't budge. The magnetic force is too strong. His palm is adhered to the glass, which is adhered to the steel frame, which is connected to the entire building's rebar infrastructure. He's stuck to a building. You need to leave, he says. Get out while you can. I'm not leaving you stuck to a window. You don't have a choice. Look at your hands. I look. The red-brown corruption has reached my shoulders. My shirt sleeves are stiff with it. My fingers won't fully extend. The joints are locking up. Iron accumulation in the cartilage, the tendons, the bone. Another shudder. Stronger this time. The building is coming apart. I can hear concrete cracking, steel groaning. The cluster on the production floor is pulling on every metal component in the structure. Go, Ruskin says. Please, don't watch this. I let go. Step back. He's right. I can't save him. Can barely save myself. My legs are heavy. Each step toward the door is harder than the last. I make it to the stairs. Down one flight. 2. The lobby is empty. Everyone's evacuated. I'm the last one. The front door is 10 feet away. Might as well be 10 miles. My boots are sticking to the floor. The steel in the concrete. The rebar. It's everywhere. Can't avoid it. Can't escape it. I force myself forward. 1 step. 2. My right boot tears loose from the floor with a wet tearing sound. Something in my foot gives. Pain shoots up my leg. I ignore it. 3 steps. 4. The door is 5 feet away. The building shudders again. Violent this time. The ceiling splits. I see rebar exposed. Bent. Curving toward the production floor. Toward the cluster. The entire administration building is bending. Failing. Coming apart as every steel component is pulled toward the massive magnetic concentration. I lunge for the door. My hand hits the crash bar. Steel. My palm sticks. I push anyway. Weight and momentum. The door swings open. Outside air hits my face. Cool. Evening air. The parking lot is chaos. People running. Screaming. The clusters from town are visible now. Rolling down Main Street. Each one is the size of a house. Bigger. Bodies and cars and street signs and mailboxes and everything metal, all fused together into these massive spheres that roll and grow and consume. I stumble away from the building. 20 feet. 30. My legs give out. I fall. The asphalt is rough under my hands. There's metal in asphalt too. Aggregate. Tiny pieces. But not enough to hold me. Not yet. Behind me, the administration building collapses. The whole structure folds inward. Concrete and glass and steel rebar, all of it pulled toward the production floor, toward the blast furnace cluster that's now maybe 100 tons. Maybe more. I see Ruskin fall with it. Just a glimpse. His body still stuck to the window frame as the wall tumbles. Then he's gone, buried in rubble and metal. The cluster keeps growing, keeps pulling. A Humvee slides past me, tires screeching. Nobody inside, just empty military vehicle responding to magnetic force. It slams into the cluster. disappears into the mass. Colonel Pritchard is standing 50 feet away, shouting into his radio, giving orders that don't matter. Can't matter. This isn't something you can order to stop. My vision blurs. The iron tracks have reached my neck, my face. I can feel them spreading across my scalp, through my sinuses. My teeth ache. The fillings. They're metal. Amalgam. They're responding too. I'm out of time. We all are. The ground is vibrating. Constant tremor. Like the earth itself is responding to the magnetic fields. I'm on my hands and knees in the parking lot, trying to crawl farther from the cluster. Each movement is agony. My joints are locking up. The iron in my blood crystallizing in the cartilage, making my body rigid, making me into a statue. Someone's screaming. High-pitched. Terror scream. I turn my head, takes effort, neck muscles fighting me, and see a woman in CDC scrubs running. She's 50 feet from the cluster. 40. She's not running toward it. She's running away. But her trajectory is curving, her body leaning sideways. The magnetic pull overriding her momentum. 30 feet. 20. Her legs give out. She falls. Starts sliding across the asphalt. Pulled. She's clawing at the ground. Fingernails breaking. Leaving red streaks. Not blood. The iron corruption. It's coming out of her. Through her skin. Responding to the call. 10 feet from the cluster she stops fighting. Her body goes rigid. Then she's airborne. Yanked the last few feet. Slams into the mass. Sticks. Her face is visible for a moment. Mouth open in a scream I can't hear over the grinding metal. Then the mass rotates. She disappears into it. Becomes part of it. I look away. Can't watch anymore. Can't process anymore. My brain is shutting down. Self-defense mechanism. Too much horror. Too much death. Dominic stuck to the refrigerator. Helen at her radio. Ruskin at the window. The CDC woman absorbed into the cluster. Everyone I know. Everyone in Bethel Springs. All of us becoming iron. My phone vibrates in my pocket. Takes me 3 tries to get it out. My fingers won't bend right. The screen is cracked, smeared with red-brown residue. There's a text. From Tina. Tina, Dominic's wife. Ex-wife. They divorced 2 years ago, but she never left town. Works at the library. Lives in an apartment above the Dollar General. The text. Randy, is Dom okay? He's not answering. I'm scared. Something's wrong with me. My hands won't stop shaking. There's something in my blood. I can feel it moving. Please tell me Dom's okay. I stare at the message. She doesn't know. Doesn't know Dominic is dead. Doesn't know everyone's dead or dying. Doesn't know that in an hour, maybe less, she'll be stuck to whatever metal surface is nearest when her blood reaches critical saturation. I should tell her. Should type out the truth. Dominic died this afternoon. Stuck to your old refrigerator. The one you bought together at Sears before it closed. The one with the wedding photo magnets still on the door. He died looking at those photos. Died thinking about you. But I can't type it. My fingers won't work. The text field is blank. Cursor blinking. Waiting for words I can't form. Another text comes through. I'm at the library. Alone. All the staff left. The building's making sounds. Metal sounds. The shelves are steel. The support columns. I think they're moving. Randy, please. I don't want to die alone. The library is 4 blocks from here. 4 blocks down Main Street. Past the clusters. Past the rolling masses of flesh and metal. But it's still standing. I can see it from here. Brick building. Old Carnegie Library, built 1912. Brick and wood and steel support columns. The steel is what'll kill her. I look at my hands. The corruption is complete. Fingers to shoulders. My chest is tight. Hard to breathe. The iron is in my lungs. In my heart. Every heartbeat is pumping contaminated blood through contaminated vessels. I've got minutes, not hours. Minutes before I'm like the CDC woman. Before I'm pulled into the nearest cluster. But the library is 4 blocks away. And Tina's alone. I try to stand. My legs don't cooperate. The knee joints are frozen. I force them. Hear something crack. Pop pain shoots through my right leg. I scream. Can't help it. But I'm standing. Barely. Leaning heavy to one side. But standing. Colonel Pritchard is shouting at me. Can't make out the words. Doesn't matter. He's given up on containment. Given up on command. He's just trying to keep his soldiers alive. Trying to get them away from the clusters. It's not working. I see 3 soldiers on the ground. Bodies rigid. Being dragged toward the plant cluster. Their rifles are pulling them. The steel in their weapons. They're trying to unbuckle their gear. Can't. The buckles are metal too. Everything's metal. 4 blocks. I start walking. Not walking. Dragging. My right leg won't bend. I'm pulling it forward with each step. Left foot, drag right leg. Left foot, drag right leg. The parking lot asphalt is broken. Rough. My boot catches on a crack. I fall. Hands out. They stick to the ground. The metal aggregate in the asphalt. I'm stuck. I pull. Feel skin tear. My palms come loose. Leave red-brown smears. Parts of me. My blood. My iron. It's leaking out. Answering the magnetic call. I'm up again. Moving. The edge of the parking lot. The grass. Non-magnetic. Softer ground. Easier to move on. But it won't last. Can't avoid metal forever. Main Street is asphalt and cars and street signs and lamp posts and storefronts with steel frames. The first block is chaos. Bodies everywhere. Some still moving. Some not. There's a cluster forming around Fletcher's Auto. The burning dealership from earlier. The fire's out now. Doesn't matter. The metal's still there. The cars. The tools. The hydraulic lifts. All of it pulling together. Bodies sliding across the street. Responding to the magnetic center. I stay wide. Hug the far sidewalk. My shadow stretches long in front of me. The sun setting. Last sunset I'll ever see. It's orange. Red. Beautiful. Wrong that something so beautiful is happening while the world ends. A car alarm is going off. Repetitive beep. Annoying. The car, a blue sedan, is rolling down Main Street on its own. No driver. Just metal responding to magnetic force. It picks up speed. Crashes into the Fletcher's cluster. The impact sounds like a bell. Deep resonant tone. The cluster barely moves. Just absorbs the car. Keeps growing. Second block. The elementary school playground is to my right. I don't look at it. Can't look at it. Can't see what's happened to the children who are on that metal equipment. My brain won't let me look. Self-preservation. Some things you can't process and stay sane. Third block. A man stumbles out of the hardware store. Old guy. Maybe 70. I know him. Bill something. He ran the store for 40 years. Retired last year but still comes in. Can't stay away. This is his life. His identity. He sees me. Reaches out. Help. Please. My legs. I can't feel my legs. I keep moving. Can't stop. Can't help. He's too far gone. The corruption has reached his spine. He falls. Face first on the sidewalk. Doesn't move again. His body starts sliding. Pulled toward the hardware store. Toward the metal shelves and tools and nails and screws and all the inventory he spent 40 years organizing. Fourth block. The library is ahead. Brick facade. Stone steps. Wooden doors with brass handles. Brass. Copper alloy. Non-ferrous. Non-magnetic. I can touch those handles. The doors are unlocked. I push through. Inside, the smell is familiar. Old books. Wood polish. Dust. It's quiet. Wrong quiet. Libraries are never completely silent. There's always ambient noise. HVAC systems. Computers humming. People moving. This is tomb quiet. Tina? My voice echoes. The main room is 2 stories. Open floor plan. Bookshelves radiating out from a central desk. The shelves are steel. Industrial shelving. Strong. Designed to hold thousands of books. They're vibrating. I can see it. Subtle movement. The steel responding to magnetic forces outside. To the clusters. To the iron-saturated air. Randy? Her voice comes from the back. The reading room. I'm here. I can't move. I'm stuck. I follow her voice. Past the circulation desk. Past the children's section with its bright carpet and low shelves. Into the reading room where the old periodicals are stored. The shelves here are older. Wood. But the support columns are steel. Painted white. Structural. Holding up the second floor. Tina's against one of the columns. Her back pressed to it. Arms spread. Crucifixion pose. She's stuck. The red-brown corruption covering her hands, her arms, her neck. Her face is clean, but I can see the tracks spreading. Up from her collar. Reaching toward her jaw. I texted Dominic, she says. Not looking at me. Looking at the ceiling. He didn't answer. That means he's dead, doesn't it? Yeah. How? Refrigerator. Your old refrigerator. He was stuck to it. I tried to pull him off. Couldn't. She nods. Like she expected that. I kept the photo magnets, the wedding photos. I gave him the refrigerator in the divorce, but I kept the magnets. Stupid. They're just pictures. But I couldn't throw them away. He was looking at them. When he died, looking at your pictures. She cries. Silent tears. Her body can't shake. Can't sob. The steel column won't let her. She's held rigid. Trapped. I move closer. My legs barely work. I'm dragging myself now, using my arms, pulling across the carpet, like a wounded animal, like something that should be dead but isn't quite yet. Don't come closer, she says. You'll get stuck too. Already stuck. Just a matter of where. I reach her, pull myself up using a wooden chair. Non-magnetic. Safe. My hands are completely rigid now. Claws. The fingers won't extend. Won't close. Fixed in whatever position they were in when the iron locked them. Tina's looking at me now. Really looking. Seeing the corruption. The tracks. The transformation. How long do we have? Minutes. Maybe 10. Maybe less. Does it hurt? Yes. She nods again. I can feel it. In my blood. It's heavy. Like my veins are full of lead. Is that what iron feels like? I never thought about it. The iron in our blood. It's always been there. Keeping us alive. Now it's killing us. The building shudders. Subtle. The steel columns responding to external magnetic fields. The clusters are getting closer. The one from Fletcher's Auto. The one from the hardware store. The massive one from the steel plant. They're all moving. All rolling toward each other. Combining. Creating larger masses with stronger fields. When they combine, when they become one, the magnetic force will be strong enough to tear apart every building in Bethel Springs. This library will come down. The steel columns will be ripped out. The second floor will collapse. And Tina will go with it, stuck to the column, unable to run, unable to escape. I look around the reading room. There's a fire axe in a case on the wall. Emergency equipment. The handle is wood. The head is steel. I can't touch the head, but I can use the handle. What are you doing? Tina asks. I don't answer. I'm moving to the axe case. Break the glass with my elbow. Take out the axe. It's heavy. Heavier than it should be. The steel head is pulling, wanting to go toward the magnetic center. I fight it. Hold the wooden handle. Point the head away. Back to Tina. She understands what I'm thinking. Her eyes go wide. No. Randy, no. Don't. The column's going to be pulled out when the clusters combine, when the field strength increases. This whole building will collapse. You'll be crushed, still stuck to the column, still alive while the building comes down on you. So let me die fast. Don't do what you're thinking. You'll suffer. The collapse won't kill you immediately. You'll be trapped, buried. The iron in your blood will keep you conscious, keep your heart pumping. You'll suffocate slowly. Could take an hour. Could take longer. I'm looking at the column, at where it meets the floor. Steel flange, bolted to concrete. The bolts are accessible. 6 of them, industrial size. If I can break them, if I can sever the column connection, I can pull her free. Get her away from the steel. She'll have a chance. Maybe. Few more minutes of life. Few minutes not stuck to metal. I don't want you to do this, Tina says. I don't want my last memory to be you hurting me. I'm not hurting you. I'm freeing you. Randy. Her voice breaks. Please, just stay with me. Talk to me. Let me die hearing a human voice. Not alone. Not in pain. Just let me go. The axe is heavy in my hands. My arms are shaking. The iron corruption has reached my shoulders. My chest. I can feel my rib cage getting rigid. My lungs struggling to expand. I don't have time for this debate. Don't have time to convince her. But she's right. If I try to free her, if I break the column bolts, she'll fall. The impact could break bones. Could cause pain. Her last moments would be agony. And for what? 2 more minutes of life? 3? Or I could stay. Could sit with her. Hold her hand, if my hand would bend. Talk to her. Let her die with company. With dignity. With someone who knew Dominic. Someone who understands what she's lost. Free her and give her a chance at a less painful death, but guarantee her last moments are violent and terrifying. Or stay with her and let the building collapse, knowing she'll be trapped and suffering, but her last conscious moments are peaceful. I can't do both. Don't have the strength. Don't have the time. My body is shutting down. The iron is in my brain now. I can feel it. Thoughts getting slower. harder to form, like rust is accumulating in my synapses. I look at Tina. She's crying, silent tears running down her face. She's beautiful, always has been. Dominic used to talk about her smile, about how it lit up the room. She's not smiling now, but she's still beautiful, still human, still alive for a few more minutes. I drop the axe. It clatters on the floor. The steel head sticks to the tile. Embedded. I leave it. I sit down next to Tina, my back against the column next to hers, close enough that our shoulders touch. I can feel the pull, the magnetic attraction. My shoulder wants to slide toward her, toward the column, toward the steel that's going to kill us both. Tell me about Dominic, she says. Tell me something good, something I don't know. I search my memory. It's getting harder, the iron fog in my brain. But there's something, a story from when we were kids. He saved a dog once. We were maybe 10 and 12. There was a stray, got hit by a car on Route 219. Everyone drove past it, but Dom made me stop, made Dad stop. We pulled over and Dom ran out into traffic, scooped up this dog, maybe 30 pounds, and carried it to our truck. The dog bit him, drew blood, but Dom didn't drop it, just held on, talking to it, telling it everything was okay. Did the dog live? Yeah. Dad took us to the vet. Dr. Morrison, remember him? He patched up the dog. Dom paid for it with money from his paper route. Kept the dog. Named him Rusty because of his color. Rusty lived 13 years. Died the year you and Dom got married. Tina laughs. What sound? He never told me that story. Never told me he paid for it himself. That was Dom. He didn't talk about the good things he did. Just did them. The building shudders again. Stronger this time. The steel columns groan. I can hear metal tearing somewhere. Outside. Close. The clusters are combining. The magnetic field's intensifying. We're out of time. I loved him, Tina says. I know we got divorced. I know we couldn't make it work. But I loved him. Still do. That doesn't go away. He loved you too. He told me. After the divorce. Said it was his fault. Said he didn't know how to be what you needed. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. We were too young, too different. But that doesn't mean I didn't love him. My vision is blurring. The iron corruption reaching my eyes. Optic nerves. My retinas. Everything's going dark around the edges. Tunnel vision. I turn my head, last time I'll be able to move it, and look at Tina. She's looking back. Her face is almost completely covered now. Red-brown tracks across her cheeks. Her forehead. Around her eyes. But her eyes are still clear. Still hers. Still Tina. Thank you, she says. For staying. For not leaving me alone. Where else would I go? She smiles. Small smile. Sad smile. You're a good man, Randy Holt. Your brother was lucky to have you. The main support column between us shrieks. Metal tearing. The magnetic field outside has reached critical strength. The column is being pulled. Ripped from its moorings. The second floor is coming down. I grab Tina's hand. Or try to. My fingers won't bend. But I press my palm to hers. The contact is immediate. Sticky. Our hands fuse. The iron in our blood bonding. Connecting us. Making us one thing. One mass. One final moment of human contact before we stop being human. The column tears free. The ceiling collapses. The second floor comes down in sections. Books first. Thousands of them. Falling like rain. Heavy rain. Hardcovers and paperbacks and periodicals. The smell of old paper and dust. The sound of pages fluttering. Like birds taking flight. Beautiful sound. Wrong sound for the end of the world. Then the structural components. Steel beams. Concrete. The second floor landing platform. It all comes down at once. A wall of debris and weight and destruction. I see Tina's face in the last moment before impact. She's looking at me. Not at the ceiling. Not at the death falling toward us. At me. Her eyes are clear. Her smile is still there. Small. Sad. Accepting. Her lips move. Form words I can't hear over the roar of the collapse. Tell Dom I'm coming. Then the steel beam hits. Massive I-beam. Maybe 2 tons. It comes down at an angle. Edge first. Strikes the column we're leaning against. The impact drives the column through Tina's body. Through her spine. Her chest cavity. I feel it. Feel her hand crush in mine. Feel the bones break. Feel the iron in her blood respond to the massive magnetic force. Feel her body compress. Flatten. Become part of the column. part of the steel, part of the mass that's still growing, still pulling, still accumulating. Her eyes stay open. For a moment, maybe two, looking at me, still seeing me, still conscious despite the catastrophic trauma. The iron in her blood keeping her heart pumping, keeping her brain firing, keeping her alive and aware and suffering for seconds that stretch into eternity. Then nothing. Her eyes go flat, empty. She's gone. But her body isn't. Her body is still there, still stuck to the column, still part of the mass. Her hand still fused to mine. I'm stuck too, pinned under debris, my legs trapped under concrete, my hand bonded to Tina's corpse, connected to her in death the way we couldn't be in life. The building is coming down around us. More beams, more concrete, more books and shelves and everything that made this a library. It's all falling, all collapsing, all being pulled toward the magnetic center. I can't move, can't pull free, can't do anything but watch as the debris piles up, as the weight increases, as my chest gets compressed, as my ribs crack, as my lungs collapse. I'm still conscious, still aware. The iron in my blood keeping me alive, keeping me feeling every moment of this, every broken bone, every torn muscle, every system failure as my body is crushed beneath the weight of a collapsing building. I try to scream, can't. No air in my lungs, no breath to voice it, just silent agony as I'm slowly flattened, slowly destroyed, slowly converted from human to something else. Something metal, something magnetic, something that belongs to the clusters. My last thought before the darkness takes me. This is what we built. This is what Bethel Springs was. Steel and iron and metal. We built our lives on it, built our homes, built our town, built everything from the ground up using the iron from the mines. And now it's taking us back, returning us to the earth, converting us back to ore, back to raw material, back to the hematite deposits we pulled from the ground 100 years ago. We made ourselves from iron. Now iron is making us into itself. The darkness closes in. My heart stops. The iron continues. I wake up. Shouldn't wake up. Should be dead. The building collapsed. My chest was crushed. My heart stopped. I felt it stop. But I'm awake. The darkness is complete. No light. No sound. Just pressure. Weight on every side. Debris. Concrete. Steel. Books. The library is on top of me. I'm buried. I try to move. Can't. My body is locked. Rigid. The iron corruption is complete. Total. I'm not flesh anymore. Just rust. Just metal. A thing. But my heart's beating. Can feel it. Slow. Irregular. Wrong rhythm. But beating. The iron's keeping it going. Keeping the blood moving. Keeping me alive when I should be dead. Time passes. Don't know how much. Could be hours. Could be days. No way to measure. Just pressure and pain. The pain is constant. Every nerve still works. Still reports damage. Crushed ribs. Collapsed lungs. Broken spine. All of it screaming. I can't pass out. The iron won't let me. Keeps my heart pumping. Keeps me here. Something shifts. The debris moves. Something's pulling on the steel beams. The magnetic force. The clusters are still growing. Still pulling. The beam across my chest moves. Drags. Takes me with it. I'm stuck to it. Fused. My body slides through the debris. Concrete scrapes across what's left of my skin. Takes it off in strips. I feel every inch. Up. I'm moving up. Toward the surface. The beam is being pulled free. I'm coming with it. Still pinned. Still crushed. But moving. Light. Dim light. My eyes don't focus right. Everything's tinted red-brown. Rust-colored. I'm on top of the rubble pile. Still stuck to the beam. My body is twisted. Wrong angles. I can see myself. The red-brown crust covers everything. My skin is gone. Just metal. Oxidized iron. I look like a rust sculpture. Tina's body is still connected to mine. Our hands still fused. She's 3 feet away, bent around the column that killed her. Her face is rust-covered. Frozen. That small sad smile locked in place. I can't look away. Can't close my eyes. The lids are frozen open. Rusted. I'm staring at her. At what we became. The beam lurches. Moves again. Dragged across the rubble. Down into the street. Main Street. The road is torn up. Steel pipes exposed. All of it pulled toward the cluster. The cluster. It's massive. 5 stories tall. Maybe 6. Everything metal in Bethel Springs. Cars and street signs and appliances and bodies. Thousands of bodies, all fused together, moving, slowly, grinding across the landscape, getting bigger. I'm being pulled toward it. The beam slides across the torn earth, taking me with it. The beam hits the cluster. Impact. I'm pressed against it. I can see faces, preserved in rust. Hundreds of them. Thousands. Frozen expressions. Fear. Pain. All locked in oxidized iron. Mickey from Station 3. His face is right in front of mine. Eyes open. Mouth open. Leo. Patterson. The CDC woman. Bill from the hardware store. They're all here. All part of this. Dominic is here somewhere. The refrigerator would have been pulled in. My brother is in here. Somewhere in these layers. I try to call out. Can't. No voice. No breath. No lungs that work. The cluster keeps moving. Rolling. I'm stuck to the surface. Rotating with it. Up and over and down and under. The world spins. Sky and ground and rubble and sky again. Continuous motion. This is existence now. Days pass. I think. The sun rises and sets. Rises and sets. The pain doesn't stop. Constant. Every rotation grinds my broken body against the other components. Against other bodies. Against steel beams and car doors. The friction takes away more of me. Wears me down. Turns me into powder. Into rust. I'm disintegrating. Slowly. Layer by layer. The iron keeps my heart beating, but it can't preserve my structure. I'm being eroded. Worn away. Becoming dust. The cluster rolls through what's left of Bethel Springs. Past the elementary school. The bodies are gone. Absorbed. Those small bodies mixed with everyone else. Past the plant. The production floor is empty. Every piece of equipment pulled into the cluster. The blast furnace. The rolling mill. Station 7. All of it here. Past Furnace Road. Past Dominic's house. The refrigerator is here somewhere. Those wedding photo magnets. Tina's face smiling from a decade ago. The cluster reaches the edge of town. Keeps moving. Nothing to stop it. It's going to roll forever. Until it accumulates everything metal. Something changes. The rotation slows. Stops. The cluster is stationary. I'm on the upper surface. Can see outward. There's a perimeter. Military vehicles. Tanks. Helicopters overhead. Far back. Maybe a mile. Safe distance. They're not trying to stop this. Just watching. Documenting. Making sure it doesn't spread beyond the containment zone. Colonel Pritchard is down there somewhere. Maybe. Watching his orders play out. Contain the threat. Prevent spread. Mission accomplished. Bethel Springs is contained. Everyone's dead or worse. No one's getting out. Acceptable risk. That's what corporate called it. The geothermal drilling was worth the risk. The energy was worth the risk. The profit was worth the risk. They were right. The iron bloom stayed localized. Didn't spread to Pittsburgh or Harrisburg. Just Bethel Springs. Just 30,000 people. Just everyone I knew. Acceptable losses. A helicopter circles closer. Camera mounted on its side. Recording. Some analyst is going to watch this footage. Study the cluster. Write a report about magnetic field strength and contamination vectors. Recommend protocols for future drilling. Make sure this doesn't happen again. They won't mention names. Won't mention Dominic or Tina or Ruskin or the 30,000 people who became iron. Will be statistics. Data points. Casualties in the cost-benefit analysis. The helicopter moves away. I'm alone again. Stuck to the cluster. Rotting slowly. Trapped in rust. Tina's hand is still fused to mine. Can't see her face anymore. We've rotated. Changed position. But I can feel the connection. The contact point where our palms merged. She's still here. Still dead. Still preserved. I hope she died instantly when the beam hit. Hope her last thought was telling Dom she was coming. Hope she's not like me. Not trapped with a heart that won't stop beating. Not feeling every second of this. The sun sets. Rises. Sets. Rises. I've stopped counting days. Stopped measuring time. There's no end to this. No release. No death. Just this. Endless. Painful. The pain is everything now. There's nothing else. Just pain and rust and Tina's dead hand fused to mine and the rotation that never stops. My body continues to erode. More pieces falling away. More rust forming. More dust drifting. I'm becoming the contamination. When I'm completely gone, when there's nothing left but iron dust, I'll spread. I'll blow on the wind. I'll settle on new ground. I'll wait in the soil for the next drilling operation, the next geothermal project, the next acceptable risk. This isn't an ending. It's a cycle. The iron returns to the earth. The earth releases it again. It finds blood. It bonds. It corrupts. It accumulates. It traps people in rust-covered shells that can't die. Bethel Springs is gone, but the iron remains. I remain. Dominic remains. Tina remains. All of us remain. Still here. Still suffering. Still waiting. The cluster sits motionless. The military perimeter holds. The helicopters stop coming. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Maybe. No one's coming to help. No one's coming to end this. No one's coming at all. We're just here. The iron bloom. The Pennsylvania contamination. The acceptable risk that became 30,000 prisoners. I can't forgive corporate for drilling. Can't forgive Caldwell for running the cost-benefit analysis. Can't forgive myself for not leaving when I had the chance. For going to Dominic's house. For going to the plant. For going to the library. For every choice that led me here. But forgiveness doesn't matter. Guilt doesn't matter. The iron doesn't care. My heart keeps beating. The pain keeps coming. The rust keeps spreading. I stare at the rust-colored sky through rust-covered eyes. Feel Tina's dead hand fused to mine. Feel the cluster beneath me. Feel the erosion taking me apart one particle at a time. This is forever. This is what we built. This is acceptable risk.